Welcome to another Meet the Contestant of Ms. Wheelchair America. Right now, we are going to meet Miss New York. We are so happy to have Khalia Hayslett here to chat with us on this next video. This is Ms. Wheelchair America 2023. We are going to find out who will be the winner. This is the 52nd year of the competition. We've got 18 women from across the nation who are here competing for the title. This event is presented by the Mary Free Bed Guild. We are in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We're on the last couple days of the event. It is Thursday. We've got the Dancing Through the Decades tonight, and then tomorrow night is the live stream that you'll be able to see. Here are the speeches from all 18 contestants, and then on Saturday we'll find the top 5 and then the winner. But let's talk to Khalia. We are so happy to have her. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Facebook Live video. Why don't you introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and what's it been like these first couple days?
Hi, my name is Khalia, Miss Wheelchair New York. I am from Brooklyn, New York, and it has been a life-changing week. Everyone probably thinks that competition is just a wave, a smile, and a sash, but it's so much more, so much more.
What tell me a little bit about how you felt. We were talking before we started recording about when you won Ms. New York. What was that process like? Did you ever think you'd compete in a competition? And how did you feel when you won?
Absolutely did not think I was going to compete in this type of competition. It's way outside of my comfort zone. My platform is empowerment, mental health awareness, and visibility. And I realized through my mentorship that there are a lot of young women that need to see me, to see that I'm an example of living independently and vibrantly. I am a voice not just for myself, but for the community, for people that don't have the ability to speak for themselves.
What every contestant here has a platform, something that they're focusing about, and you were talking about empowering. What are you really going to use? What have you been using your title for, and what do you hope to further in your message here?
Definitely, I have been using my platform to further my visibility, to be more of a presence on social media, so my platform can have a further reach. My platform is empowerment, mental health awareness, and visibility. I'll tell you a little secret in all of Facebook users. In my past, I was chronically shy. So despite what everybody might think about my outward appearance, I have not been, it's not been easy for me to step outside of my comfort zone and share all things Khalia with the world. And it's easy for me to do advocacy. It's easy for me to be in politics, but to be amongst excellence, I am so deeply humbled.
So tell me a little bit about your family and a little bit about yourself too. Why do you use a wheelchair?
I was born with a muscle and joint disease called arthrogryposis. I am the only one in my family that has a visible disability, a physical disability. I'm one of 4 daughters, and I am a proud single mom of a teenager. His name is Brandon, and he does not have a disability. And I often say that when it comes to me being a mom, sister, or daughter, it has not impacted the spirit of my title, but in terms of the challenges, it definitely affects how I move every day.
I'm switching back and forth here, thinking about these great questions. It's so good chatting with you.
Thank you.
You mentioned being a single mom. There's been a couple other competitors that are in the same, they're here, they're moms, they have kids. What's it like? Have you guys connected on that at all? And some of them have even made that their platform, the things that they're working on, especially with people with disabilities and being parents, and especially single parents. Like, have you connected with any of the other contestants about that?
Oh, absolutely. During my state competition, the judges really grilled me on how I was going to balance nationals, how it balanced the national title if I won. And I was so taken aback. I said, "Are you kidding me? Single moms are superheroes." And I came here thinking that maybe I would be the only one, a single mom. And I connected with all these women that are just superheroes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I talk about my son. I need to get a life, I think. I need to do something else besides talk about my son. But I'm so proud of who he is. And as a single parent, you never know what's going to resonate with them or what's going to stick with them. And he is just a great person. And that's the greatest pride of my life.
Has he seen what you've been doing over this past year? Has that impacted him at all, you think?
I don't think it has impacted him in a way that most people would think, because he was born to me, right? It's what he's accustomed to already. Um, I think now he has a more honed in idea on what mom does, right? I think he's just kind of accustomed to riding on my shoulders, dealing with non accessibility, the stares and the looks. I think he's just kind of accustomed to it. Um, and he kind of wonders sometimes, are they staring because she has a disability? Or are they staring because she's sparkly and beautiful? Don't tell him I said that because he would be mad as a teenager. Um, but I think he's kind of accustomed to it. And I'm so happy now that I'm raising an ally from the non disabled community, which is really important to me. We are the largest minority. And I think it's really important as a community that we understand that we have to work with other communities, not against them, but with them. And he's very much a part of both.
And I think that's what the event like this can do is to build those able-bodied allies. Tell me, I've seen a lot of pictures of you on your social media, you know, in the state capitol, around doing events. Tell me about some of those highlights in building these allies.
One of my greatest highlights for this year is, I'm not sure if all the Facebook users are familiar with boroughs, but boroughs are like neighborhoods in New York City. And New York is really fighting to be number one city for accessibility. So, for the first time in history, all 5 boroughs have had a disability pride event. And I was so proud to host those events, co-host those events. It was just amazing to see all the events come together and our local state and city politicians say disability affects and matters to everybody, not just our community. You know, accessibility benefits everybody.
So what has the week been like? You've had a lot of different workshops and events that you've been in. What have you been learning during this week so far?
So I really had my own definition of what disability pride was, um, because I was born with my disability, and so I don't know anything else. But when I come across these women that are new to the community, I am in awe of their resiliency, of their vulnerability, their willingness to put themselves out there. Uh, so, mental health wellness is a part of my platform. It takes so much strength um, to just roll over every day as a person who suffers with chronic pain. I put my feet on the floor sometimes. I just look into their eyes and I just see this incredible amount of strength. And I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? It's just incredible.
What I keep asking all the contestants this about the sisterhood, the connection with the other contestants. I mean, you are competing, but you're also growing together. What has that been like making these friendships?
As I said earlier, these connections are life changing. They are so impactful. As I listened to some of the contestants say they joined because they didn't have a friend with a disability. I don't know what that means. I have life partners, life friends that have gone through my life with. One of my best friends, she has spinal bifida. Um, And so I don't know what that would be like. And as I sat there and I listened to them say they joined this competition to make friends, I was elated and yet still a little sad that they didn't have a soulmate to go through this life with. But now they have me. And I'm not just their sister, I'm their advocate, I'm their fighter. I have their backs and I'm just never going to go away.
That's awesome. So we're talking competition. I want to ask you now to be a little competitive. Tell me why you think that you should win.
I know I should win because I'm definitely a representative of all of them. I look at all of them and I see myself in different stages of my life. At first, I was thinking, well, I'm just a mom and advocate from New York, and I was very intimidated by the idea that I was amongst these women that have letters before and after their names, right? And just jaw dropping life experiences that have brought them to this moment. And I realized, wow, these are all me. These are all a part of me. All 18 of them are wrapped in one little 5'3" rolling around New York City.
So this has been so much fun chatting with you. I really appreciate you. I mean, it's a long day of workshops, and you probably want to rest a little bit because you guys have your dance through the decade tonight. What are you? Do you have a theme for your decade costume? What do you?
I do have, actually, I'm trying to decide which thing I'm going to do, which theme I'm going to do. I have a choice between sparkly 80s, 70s, 80s. You know, some of these ladies don't know what the 70s are. And I think it's more of an African Bambata theme, you know, where it's just, you know, kente prints and just wrapped in a little bit of New York fabulousness, you know. So I'm trying to decide still which one I'm going to do.
My vote would be for that. I've not seen that yet at least last year, so that would be my vote. So my last question for you as we wrap up this video is: you mentioned that you see yourself in some of these different contestants. If you could talk to yourself when you were younger, you know, if maybe there's somebody watching this who just received a diagnosis, or they are just had an injury and they're starting their own recovery, or maybe there's another, you know, young mom out there who's trying to juggle it all. What would be your advice to them to keep going and to get through this all?
I can definitely tell you the answer to that. For me, excuse me, as a mentor, um, I always say, just remember that when you walk into a room, you walk into a room first. Your talents, your fashion, your spirit, everything that encompasses you and your disability comes after. So whether you were born with it and you've been living with it, or you've come into it more recently, you have to remember that everything that is you doesn't change because you're in a different form of your body. So we are living in a majority non-disabled world, and that is the lens that we have to present ourselves through. You just have to know that it does get better. You will learn how to love yourself, um, and that this is the opportunity for you to challenge your talent, right? To realize that you definitely can come in. It can come in a different form, right? Um, So when you walk into a room, everything that encompasses you comes first and your disability comes after. Remember that always.
Well, I want to thank you for chatting with us on the video. That's a great way to wrap it up. Ms. Wheelchair New York, Khalia Hayslett, thank you so much for talking with us, and congratulations again for coming here. And then good luck in the last little bit of the competition.
Thank you so much.
And as we wrap up this video, I want to just thank you guys all for watching, getting to know another one of the contestants from Ms. Wheelchair America. This competition is presented by the Mary Free Bed Guild. We are in the last couple days of the competition. And if you are watching across the nation, you can watch the finals Friday and Saturday night right here on the Mary Free Bed Facebook page. Friday night is going to be speech night, where you're going to hear the platform speeches from each of the contestants, learn a little bit about their personal journeys and what motivates them. And then on Saturday, we're going to meet the top 5 participants, and then we'll have the crowning of the winner. If you are in Grand Rapids, Michigan, you can come and see this in person at the Amway Grand Plaza, downtown Grand Rapids. If not, just check out the live stream. So once again, thank you so much for watching the 52nd annual Ms. Wheelchair America, where 18 women are competing for the title. Thanks again, and stay well.